To many isolated worlds within the Imperium's borders, the Adeptus Astartes are nothing more than a myth. The knowledge of the existence of the Space Marines is often brought to such worlds through the unwelcome carnage of war. When their world falls to invasion from ravenous Xenos lifeforms or traitorous servants of chaos, it is the Emperor's Angels of Death that answer the Imperium's call. In this way, knowledge is too often brought with blood. There will always be names that drift through the dark regions between isolated worlds. The names of great heroes of humanity, spoken in whispers. The names of mankind's guardians, those warriors who walk the line between fact and fiction, prayer and myth. Few are spoken by as many voices, and with greater reverence than Dante, Lord of Angels, the bringer of light, the bane of demons. Commander Dante is the current chapter master of the Blood Angels Space Marines. He has held this position for over 1,000 years and served the Blood Angels in other capacities for hundreds of years before ascending to the rank of commander. This makes Dante one of the oldest living Loyalist Space Marines, with the exception of those sustained by cybernetic technology of dreadnoughts, or the use of temporal stasis or other technological means of extending human life. Even Captain Lysander of the Imperial Fists, who was lost in warp space for over 1,000 years, cannot recall the time when Dante did not reign supreme over the Blood Angels. Charged with the defense of the Imperium, Dante is the embodiment of every virtue in his chapter's long and glorious history, renowned as a paragon of the Blood Angels' noble ideals. And yet, beneath his golden face mask lies a shadowed contrast. For the Lord of Angels bears the heavy weight of his chapter's dark secrets. The warrior who would become Dante began life as a human, as any other Blood Angel. He was born on Baal's second moon of Baal Secundus, and was called Luis, son of Arius. In his youth, he would often roam the great salt waste far beyond any settlements. The environment upon the surface of Baal's moon is harsh, with constant high levels of radiation and attacks by vicious mutated lifeforms being common occurrences. The young boy endured the pain of losing his mother at the age of 7, and a few years later bid farewell to his father to make the perilous journey to Angel's Fall to become an angel. Luis showed determination and resolve. However, the journey proved too great, and when all hope seemed lost, the boy spied a mysterious winged golden figure who saved him from the brink of death. This figure would later become known to Luis as the Sanguinor. After finally reaching the place of choosing, Luis undertook the various trials required by all aspirants. After demonstrating determination and noble morals, he successfully completed all of the trials, thus sealing his place as a Blood Angel. Shortly after this, Luis was transported to the Blood Angels' Fortress Monastery on Baal itself. It was there that he faced his final challenge. Luis drank the synthesized blood of the 9th Primarch, and was placed into the ritual year-long slumber necessary for the process of gene seed implantation. He was entombed within a sanctified sarcophagus, where violent death visions of Sanguinius haunted his dreams. Many aspirants died during this process of superhuman transformation, but no aspirant had ever showed such torment as Luis and lived through it. Upon emerging, his remade angelic form was now free from the genetic flaws of living on Baal Secundus. He stood before the sanguinary priests no longer as Luis, but as Dante. Dante was perfectly whole, perfectly composed, ready to begin his true training. After demonstrating his skill and ability in battle, Dante ascended to the rank of an officer during one of the Blood Angels' bleakest eras. More than once, the Blood Angels have been threatened with destruction. In the final decades of the 37th millennium, they were a broken chapter ravaged by the Black Legion on the world of Makan during the bleak years of the Ghost War. Although the Angels restored their strength over the following centuries, for the first time it introduced the threat of mortality upon one of the proudest and noblest first founding chapters. Many years later, in an event that would become known as the Callius Insurrection, the Blood Angels would again be pushed to the brink of annihilation, with the chapter suffering great losses, reducing its strength and numbers by 90%, and the destruction of almost all of the chapter council. 3 full companies, including the young brother Captain Dante and his 5th company, launched a devastating assault on Callius's Landing and its dependency worlds, in support of their overwhelmed successor chapter, the Angels Numinous. The Blood Angels found themselves tied up in protracted conflicts and trench wars, caught in a cobweb of a much wider heresy. When the Blood Angels finally withdrew from the conflict, they were struck with the most bitter of blows. As the remnants of their fleet mustered above Callius's Landing itself, a traitor armada broke from the warp, eager to wipe the sons of Sanguinius from the Imperium forever. The vicious Void War and boarding actions that followed lasted for 3 solar days. Dante and his warriors were responsible for the taking of 7 capital-class vessels. When at last the Blood Angels emerged victorious and took stock of their losses, fewer than 200 Blood Angels remained. Coming together in communion, the last surviving sanguinary priests and chaplains elected the last living captain of the chapter, Dante, as their next chapter master. Accepting the mantle of Lord of the Angelic Host, he would forever after be clad in sacred golden artificer armour. Since taking the role of chapter master, Dante has led the Blood Angels into their most glorious and triumphant millennia since the time of the Scourging. None can deny the scope of Dante's campaign experience. He has fought battles uncounted, orchestrated innumerable major campaigns, and seized bloody victory in far-flung worlds. It is said that no man has visited as many of the Imperium's worlds as Dante, and he has come to each in a full raiment of war, at the head of a glorious and vengeful host. The cursed war world of Armageddon remains the site of his most famous victory. During the Second War for Armageddon, the Blood Angels rallied the defenders of besieged hive cities Acheron and Tartarus, and Dante's leadership was instrumental in repelling the greenskin horde sweeping across the planet's landmass. Dante and his Blood Angels led the Space Marine reinforcements to Acheron Hive, where he uprooted the attacking orcs and captured the heretical planetary governor, Hermann von Straub. Without the Blood Angels' reinforcements, Acheron Hive might well have fallen to the orcs, and with it the Imperium's remaining chances of victory and the retention of its grip on this crucial strategic world. A generation later, Dante's name is still spoken with reverent awe. When the Third War for Armageddon started, Dante was too far away to fulfill his prior pledge to defend the planet from any further attempts by the orcs to seize it. In his stead, he sent Captain Erasmus Tycho and his 3rd company of Blood Angels to aid the world's defence. Dante has held the Blood Angels together during the years of civil wars unknown to the wider Imperium of man, and has set whole fleets of traitor vessels aflame with the wrath of his fleet's cannons. Alone, he has taken the helms of hundreds of champions of the Dark Gods, keeping their tainted relics in stasis where they could not be destroyed, so that no others would rise as heirs to the blasphemous fallen. To his fellow chapter masters, Dante is an exemplar of the fearlessness, dedication, and strategic genius that speaks to the heart of the Space Marines' never-ending mission. To the hard-pressed generals and marshals of the Astra Militarum, he is a highly welcomed and honoured ally who stands at the forefront of mankind's defence. To the common soldiers and citizens of the Imperium, Dante is nothing less than a saviour, a golden god who descends from the heavens upon wings of fire. Dante's artificer armour incorporates a highly ornate golden death mask beneath his iron halo, called the Death Mask of Sanguinius, which is said to have been worn and shaped to match the fear-inspiring features of Sanguinius himself, the Blood Angel's Primarch, at the moment of his death at the hands of the arch-traitor Horus. With his face shrouded by Sanguinius's golden visage, Dante is the bringer of light, commanding some of the most loyal and mighty warriors ever to raise weapons in the defence of mankind. In every battle, Dante leads his angels with a wrathful descent guided by agile jump packs with ornate wings, symbolising their long-lost Primarch Sanguinius and the descent of the angels. Though he is forever to be found where the fighting is thickest, Dante has never been too proud to cede honour to battle brothers and other Imperial commanders if his skyborn warriors are best used elsewhere, hunting particular prey or taking a specific tactical objective. When leading assaults, Dante will be found at the head of his Praetorians, the Sanguinary Guard, whose golden armour matches his own. Each of these champions of the chapter are heroes in their own right, foregoing their chance at personal rank to remain by their commander's side. Each has served him for Terran centuries. They are his loyal honour guard who would follow him into any battle, no matter the peril. In battle, Dante wields an exquisitely crafted Inferno pistol, a small handheld but extremely powerful short-ranged weapon. It possesses the same armour-melting power as that of a melter gun, allowing Dante to cut through enemy tanks and greater demons alike. Dante's other weapon is an immensely powerful relic battle axe, known as the Axe Mortalis. It was forged after the Horus Heresy as a weapon to slay the foul enemies of the Emperor. The axe is a power weapon that emits crackling pulses of energy, and can scythe through even the thickest of enemy armour with ease. Perfectly balanced and said to bear the death curse of Sanguinius upon its skull-marked blade, the Axe Mortalis became the ritual weapon of the Blood Angels chapter master and has reaped countless heretic lives. Dante uses it to slice through enemy ranks and cut down the enemies of the Imperium of Man during the close quarters assaults. Only a warrior as great and as loyal to the Emperor of Mankind as Lord Commander Dante is permitted to wield such a potent and ancient weapon. Following the victory of the Blood Angels chapter and their successors in the Tyrannid High Fleet Leviathan's assault upon their homeworld of Baal, the Primarch Reboot Guilliman, the Lord Commander of the Imperium, declared Dante to be the Regent of the Imperium Nihilus. This made Dante the effective ruler of the entire half of the Imperium cut off from Terra on the other side of the Great Rift. With the fury of the Great Rift unleashed, a darkness looms more terrible than in any of the Imperium's history. The Blood Angels now stand before that darkness with the Throne of Terror at their backs, and will have to fight like never before. Coupled with the revitalising purpose of his new duty is the fresh hope brought by the Primaris Space Marines, the possibility that perhaps the Sons of Sanguinius will not burn out like a bright flickering candle. It is said amongst the Blood Angels that Commander Dante has never stood taller, even as he does so in the face of such terrible adversity. The Regent of the Imperium Nihilus has sworn to purge his dark new realm of the taint of chaos, even should it take another 1,000 Terran years or more. After all, it is amidst the darkest night that such golden angels shine the brightest.